Hello, how are you today? My name is Dr. Christopher Amoruso, and this is our weekly installation of Health Talks. Today, I want to give a talk on the common cold and the subject of what to do, especially at this time of the year. We're currently approaching Christmas, and for the next few months, the weather is going to be cold. People tend to be a little bit more run down. There's an annual push for everybody to get the flu shot. And this time of year, I invariably am asked by my patients, oh, should I get the flu shot? What should I do? And my answer is never simple. First and foremost, because I abide by one very important rule, and that's ignorance is never an excuse for bliss. So by that I mean that I would never just say to people, well, don't get a flu shot and do nothing. My answer is typically something along these lines. First and foremost, I do tell them the dangers of the flu shot, the historical inadequacy of it, and the poor statistical failure that it's been, which is not often conveyed to people. And just the mere fact that they don't even know what strain, there's no way for them to possibly predict what strain of the flu is going to even present itself, to let alone predict it and prepare a vaccine ahead of time. And that doesn't even get into the points of what are the other ingredients in the vaccines that are very dangerous, the other adjuvants. So my answer starts with a warning about the danger of the flu shot. I've seen a myriad cases where a person gets the flu shot and within a few days comes down with symptoms of the flu itself. So what I do advise my patients to do, though, is to live a healthier lifestyle. And I typically will sit down with them and coach them as to the important foods to eat and include in their diet that are particularly protective against viruses and bacteria. And things like garlic, fresh garlic is important. Fresh fruits and vegetables on a regular basis is a great place to start. Using things like coconut oil in the diet and in with your cooking. And of course, your good fats, very important for the immune system. Certainly our fat-soluble vitamins, vitamins A, D, E, and K are found in these foods. So we begin with an approach that starts by getting the person to take an active account of what they're doing with their diet. And then we have to figure out what kind of supplement protocol is a wise protocol for the average person to follow, regardless of specific needs. And to be in more detail with that, we would obviously have to do testing, specific nutritional testing, to analyze the needs of an individual patient. But on a general basis, we want to include things like Standard Process makes Imuplex, Congaplex, and also Thymex, which are three great products to start with any immune compromised person or anybody coming down with a cold or a flu. We also make use of a wonderful product called Argentin Colloidal Silver, or technically it's silver hydrosol. It's made by a wonderful company down in Florida called Natural Immunogenics. I happen to be friendly with one of the owners of the company, the son of the founder of the company. His name is Seth. A wonderful wealth of knowledge and a wonderful human being. I encourage you to look at their products. That is something that can be taken safely, doesn't hurt the good bacteria of the body, and I've even used it in cases of Lyme disease and in treating other infectious diseases. So getting back to just a basic common sense foundation for the immune system, we would want a good whole food multivitamin. So we typically use Standard Process. They make a multivitamin called Catalin, or the Synergy Company, based out of Utah. It's a company founded by Mitchell May, who in and of himself has a wonderful story of regaining his health. They make a wonderful multivitamin and mineral that is food-based, organic, and very, very carefully handled and minimally processed to protect the vital enzymes and vital nutrients, much in the same way that Standard Process does. That is a good foundation to start with, and then we incorporate the Standard Process vitamins I mentioned, and we work on an individual basis from there. Now, we could make use of MediHerbs, Echinacea, or Golden Seal. Those are fantastic. And just getting the person detoxified and acting quickly. One of the things I always tell my patients, if you have a sore throat, if you feel it coming, if you feel a cough starting, don't wait, okay? Because the longer you wait and the more run down your system is, the harder it's going to be to build your system back up, to give it the chance to defeat what's going on and to get you back to let's say, an asymptomatic or a healthier state. And I think that that's something that it really goes a long way. So I always encourage all my patients to check in with me immediately, even if it's just by phone. And then oftentimes good chiropractic care and the use of other adjuncts like enemas or using vaporizers and misters to keep the sinuses open. Those things are very important in a lot of these cases too, because we want the breathing airways and keeping the body oxygenated. We want that system open. So it will depend on a case-by-case basis. Is there congestion? Are there other signs of an intestinal origin to the sickness, which often happens? I always try to remind people the seat of the immune system is in the digestive tract. So oftentimes we will use enemas, and we sometimes will use them with coffee, or sometimes we will use probiotics in with the enemas. These are things that we handle case by case. But just getting yourself started by making sure you're hydrated, that's important. Making sure that you add a trace mineral supplement to your water. Hopefully you're using a good filtered water, whether it be reverse osmosis or an alkalizing filter. That is important. Making sure you get adequate rest. And then the other thing at this time of year, especially when it's bitter cold, is to keep yourself layered. Keep your head warm, keep your neck warm. Very important, and sometimes can go a long way to preventing colds and flus from grabbing a hold of you. And then beyond that, it's just looking at the diet and looking what the person is doing with their lifestyle, and if there's stress, mitigating that stress or supporting the adrenal glands. And these are great places to start. But certainly the typical standard American diet and the attitude of I'm just going to take a flu shot and that's going to protect me, or I'm just going to take one of the over-the-counter cold and flu pills. These things ultimately just drive your illness deeper into the tissue and just prolong your illness. So I encourage everybody to work with an alternative physician or a nutritionist or doctor that is familiar with natural support for the immune system. There are certainly more things than what I've just mentioned here briefly. But, I think back to my father. He raised 6 children in my family. And I can tell you firsthand from how I was raised that never once during a cold or a sore throat did we ever entertain going to have our tonsils removed or go to take some type of flu medication like Theraflu or anything like that. And certainly no vaccines or shots. So I always say to my patients, if we can do it, anyone can do it. And God created our bodies to work based on the nature that we developed in the environment around us and what foods and herbs and plants and nutrition was available to us. And to think that we're going to just pop a medication that a pharmaceutical company designed and that's going to protect us and that's going to take care of everything for us and we don't have to worry about anything we do is just very foolish in my opinion. And I think a little bit of prevention really truly is worth a pound of cure. So I encourage people who want to know more to either contact my office. We can set up an appointment to discuss what your needs are and what you'd like to accomplish with this winter coming and the flu season coming. Or take a look at our book, my father's book, which is now out and available. It's available on my website through Author House or on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. There's a wonderful section on there, in the book rather, on the common cold and what to do in situations where there's congestion or different variables. And that can go a long way to helping you. But certainly do not fall for this ignorance is bliss. Do not think you're going to be able to continue to run down your body and get away with it. I think we all have to take responsibility for our health and take a good hard look in the mirror and ask ourselves what we can do better. And once you start working on those areas, and especially if you work with somebody who genuinely is interested in improving your lifestyle, getting involved in getting to know you and helping you, I think you'll see the difference for yourself, and it'll change your life. So I hope these little pointers have been helpful. Again, I encourage you to look at our website at www.dramoruso.com, where this video is posted. Poke around, get a look at that book. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. Thank you.